You the heart assessment only. So in the last lecture, what I told you, I was talking about the auscultation of the chest. So what parts I told you? I told you about the aortic part, and I told you about the pulmonic valve, and I told you how to locate the tricuspid and the mitral valve. Okay. So now when we are going to auscultate these, what we have to look for and how much a time we have to look for and what are the abnormal things you can look for. Okay, so that I'm telling you here that during the time when you're going to listen these sounds, you can also hear the murmurs. So now I want to introduce a new term to you. Murmurs means the abnormal sound which we have already discussed, that is S3 and S4. Okay, so if any abnormal a sound which we are able to hear during the normal heart sounds, so that means there is some problems related to the heart of the patient. Okay, so when we are hearing those sounds, as I told you, in both the cycle like systolic and diastolic, we have to hear the S1 and then we have to focus on the S2. Okay, so in that time what we have to do, we have to look for the you can say other sounds which are also adding with these, like as I told you, lub dub D. Lub dub D, that is what? That is the abnormal S3 sound which we are able to hear. Okay, but if you are able to listen this abnormal sound, so what you can do, you can check for the rate. Okay, so how you can check the rate? As you can take this a stethoscope, as I have taken. Okay, so stethoscope I have applied here. So what you can do with the stethoscope, you can also use the you can say any kind of apical pulse. You can take this finger and you can correlate these. Okay, that means rate you can correlate with each other, that what sound which you are able to see and whether this apical pulse is matching with this kind of sound. So that means with this you will be able to know that whether the rate is actually normal or it is abnormal only. Like in the both side you are able to hear the abnormal thing. Okay, so how to check the rate and rhythm? Rate you are going to check with the you can say auscultation of this aortic valve, like any aortic side you can take pulmonic side. Okay, so then you can correlate with the apical. So that's how you are going to know about the rate and rhythm of the heart. Okay, then now what you are going to do, as I told you BSc first year, that whenever you are going to assess for the S1 and S2 sound, so you're always going to look for any extra sound with it. As I told you, I'll tell you one example more an important thing, that this S3 sound, which is also known as ventricular gallop. What is this named as? Ventricular gallop. That means when your ventricles is contracting very fast. So due to that, this ventricular gallop is being heard. Okay, so when you are able to hear in every area, you are going to hear in aorta, you are going to hear in pulmonic, you are going to hear in tricuspid and mitral, in every area you have to look for S3 and S4 also in together with the S1 and S2. Okay, so S3 is known as ventricular gallop. So why it is happening? Because it is extra contracting the ventricles. Then S4 is the atrial, you can say gallop. What is atrial gallop? Now your atrium is contracting very fast. Okay, so in this condition what is going to happen? The patient will be having some hypertension due to the excessive contraction of the full heart. Okay, so in the both, when you are able to hear in the aortic, you have to hear for the S1, then you have to hear for the S2, and then you are going to hear for the S3 and S4 also. Okay, so like that you are going to compare all the areas of the heart and you are going to know about the murmurs, which is your S3 and of the S4. Okay, now there are some grading systems also, as I have already told you in the class. Grading system of the murmurs means when you are able to not able to hear the murmur anytime. Okay, so that means that is the grade number 0. 1 means when you are able to listen it, but barely you are able to listen it. Okay, with the stethoscope you are able to hear. Okay, so you can say when you are going to reach, when your murmurs is able to hear with the with the stethoscope, then without the stethoscope, and even without the stethoscope when you are able to hear. So that is your grade number 5. Okay, that is the extreme condition when you are able to feel the murmurs. Okay, usually the murmurs are not felt generally. Okay, but if you are concentrating it on, and if you that time you are able to hear it, so that means it's grade 1 or 2. Okay, so you can remember that. Okay, so that's how you are going to do the assessment of the heart. Okay, then after that, what things we are having in the heart, as I told you, that we are going to assess for the carotid artery. As you all know, that carotid artery we have to assess for the Brug's, cause mostly this is the a vessel of the heart only, especially that is covering in the neck also. I have already told you, but still very important point related to this, that you are never going to palpate the carotid artery together, because they are going to occlude the brain of the blood supply of the brain. So you're never going to do that. Okay. So you can palpate it one side. Okay. You can see this is the like a sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is trachea, and you can palpate. Keep your fingers like this, and you can like know the rate of the and rhythm of the pulse, whether it is +2 or whether it is +1. Okay. Then in the other side also you can do the same thing, and you can assess for the carotid artery. Okay. So then again you can go for the like you can say a stethoscope, and you can hear for the bruits. As I already told you about the bruits, that bruits are the abnormal sounds or the swooshing sound which can come when there is the like extreme blood flow going there. Okay. So you can keep like you can feel that, and you can keep like this. Okay. So you can also use the like other part of this, like you can say side also. Why? Because abnormal sounds can be felt in any way, like whether in this side, whether in this side. Okay. So you can use this part also and hear it. You will say the patient to do the deep breathing and like exhale and then hold it. You don't have to breathe during this assessment. Why? Because with the breathing sounds you will not be able to hear anything. Okay. So if you are able to hear it, it will be 2+. And again in this side also, take the deep breath, exhale and stop. And then you are going to hear any bruit. So if any kind of bruit you are able to hear, so that means the patient is having some turbulence in the blood flow, like there is some abnormal thing which is present in the blood flow of the patient. Okay. Then there is one more thing you have to remember in this heart assessment. You are having one more vessel, that is jugular vein. Okay. So as you all know, jugular vein is the bifurcation of the superior vena cava which is going above, so that all the blood of the like a deoxygenated blood of the brain can come to the vein through the jugular vein. So we are having two divisions, internal and external. Okay. So in this we are going to assess some jugular pressure also. Okay. So if the pressure of the jugular vein is increased, so that means your right side of the heart is blocked, or your heart is not passing from that. Okay. So all the blood will be passed into the right atrium, then it can go into the veins. Okay. So that also we need to check. So what you can do in this, you can turn the patient's head like this. Okay. So we'll better do like on the like original like person. So you can see that we are going to see like a patient like this, and you're going to like see that whether you are able to see any kind of elevation of the jugular vein or not. Okay. Can you see that? Here no jugular vein is there. That's quite normal. Okay. We can make the patient's head like this in the 15 degrees or like you can say 30 degrees, so that the patient's head should be like dilate like a little bit extended. And if there is any kind of vessel which is able to see, so that means the jugular vein pressure is increased. Okay. But right now you can see there is no jugular vein seen. Okay. So jugular vein, if the pressure is increased, so that is indicating your right heart failure. So it should not be there. So how you can measure? You require a scale, okay, where you are able to feel the higher like a point where you are able to see the vessel. Right now you cannot see this, but I'm just telling you for your extra knowledge that if any kind of like a vessel or like a dilation, if you are able to see in the higher point, like example here you are able to see the like a vessel. So what you are going to do, you're going to take a scale and you are going to put a like you can say mark, that you're going to take a like a ruler, you're going to place it on the point where you're able to feel, and the other scale, one more scale you're going to take, and that you're going to keep on the like here where the clavicle is like ending. Okay. So you can keep the scale like this and one like this. So at what point they are intersecting each other, so that you have to measure. Okay. And if the like a jugular vein is like more than 3 to 4 centimeters, if we are measuring it like this, and if it is more than 3 to 4 centimeters, so that means the jugular pressure of the like a patient is increased. Okay. That means the patient is suffering from the right heart failure. Okay. So like that you have to measure for the jugular vein. Okay. So I hope you understood about this, and you can like refer back if you have any doubt, and thank you so much.